I can remember when I was young, and it's crazy how as an adult you have like flashback moments of events that went or occurred in your life that just stick with your brain. And this moment, I can say, was the most significant and euphoric moment of my life, because it was me, my father, my cousins, his wife, my sisters. We're all around the dinner table having Sunday dinner. That was the thing. Every Sunday, he would get everybody, bring them to his house, and have Sunday dinner. I live with my mom, so he would come and pick me up, and we would go there. And every Sunday, his wife would cook, put the food in the middle of the table, and we will all just be together, laugh, joke, have fun or whatever, and then disperse, you know? Those type of things are not typical anymore. And I miss that so much, because I really want to have a family, you know? And it's crazy that, like, here I am at 30 with a desire to want to have a family, because I feel like I've always been that child or been that person that love to be around cousins, and all of us get along, we do things together, and we go out, and we just have a great relationship. But, you know, as life happens, things happen to people that change them and to make them into who they are as an adult when they go through things as children. So out of all my cousins, all of them, you know, in the streets, had children, relationship craziness, inner crises with their parents or other siblings or whatever, you know, all these things played a factor in what was once my dream happiness to be ripped to shreds, and me now being an adult with only a fond memory to think back on. And I know some people don't even have that to have, you know, and I hate that. I hate that we do not hold true to family. We do not work to make our family unit stronger, and we just have a fucking dysfunctional family. Like, this, why is dysfunction so normal? Like, why is it like the thing that just happens? And it's like with my family, everybody's always like, oh, we gotta get together, we gotta make things, we gotta change, we gotta be the new generation and all this good stuff. But, you know, you can't change someone from the life events they occurred to make them want to care to be a part of your life or things like that. You know, you can't change someone who doesn't see an issue in their actions. And that's the major problem right there, because a lot of times we just feel like because it's family, we have to, you know, get over it. We have to, you know, accept it. I mean, the major thing that I hate is when someone in the family does something to you and then don't say anything for a couple of weeks, maybe a month or two, and come back around as if what they did never happened. Like, I don't understand or get why now people feel that when there's a break in communication, when they're not around you and something they did that they should accept, apologize, and own up to, they feel that it's no longer relevant. They feel like, oh, that's old news and this is now the present, living in the past. I don't like that. And that's why I feel we can't make a family, is because people just feel like people in the family are these random Joe Schmo friends. You do not treat family in those type of manners, you know? And the one thing I always told one of my good friends, because I do not have a relationship with my mother. I despise her for so many reasons. And that may sound very, very harsh. People always say, you have one mom. Well, I have one life as well. And I'm never going to put anyone above who I am. I always tell people, like, you are allowed to terminate your relationship with toxic family members. No matter who it is, you are allowed to walk away from people who hurt you, no matter who it is. You are allowed to be angry and selfish and unforgiving, and you don't owe anyone an explanation for taking care of you as an individual, because no one cares to take care of you but you. And then, of course, when you decide to walk away to get your life in order, because you can get so stuck and so caught up in your family's issues and dramas. Like, my thing is, I always want to help people. Whenever someone is behind on a bill, whenever someone like don't have nowhere to stay, whenever someone just having an issue, I'm always that, let me see what I can do. Let me move mountains to help you, you know? And then by chance, if I ever fall into any kind of predicament, everybody is silent like a rock. You know, nothing, no, oh my goodness, you okay? It's like, I don't expect reciprocation. When I do something for somebody, I'm doing it from the genuineness of my heart. You know, I'm doing it because I want to help you. I'm not looking for anything in return. I'm not looking for no favors or no IOUs. It's just the point that if I am going out of my way to help you or give you something, no matter if it's advice, monetary, anything, I expect, if I ever get into anything, that I can count on you for the same type of support. And when you fall on hard times, or when you just need someone and they just like honestly overlook what you got going on because it's not important to them, but let them be in the same predicament you're in, it's like, why aren't you caring? Why aren't you, you know, I don't have no family. You know, my family is all these words, you know, they just basically making it seem like their priorities are not important. But it's like, it's not about that. It's about you always wanting support, but not wanting to give support. It's about you always wanting attention, but you don't want to give someone else attention when they're in the same situation you are. You're all about you and not about other people. I actually have family who will not travel outside of their own homes to go to anyone else's events, but they want you to come to their stuff, like real life. And I'm just like still confused as to how you always talking about you want to be a family when you don't even make time or an effort to show up. You know, it's all about just showing up and showing that, hey, I do care. Hey, I do want to be a part. Hey, I do want to do everything. And one of the main things that like infuriates me is every time someone passes in the family, everybody have this revelation of like, oh, we definitely have to get together. All this bickering we doing, these, you know, personalities making us not want to be around each other. We need to stop doing that. We need to stop, you know, allowing that stuff to break us apart because we could be here today and gone tomorrow. You know, everybody just have their little sob moment. And then once that situation of a funeral or somebody passing away dies down or days go on, all that they normally and originally had said seems to just fall on deaf ears, especially their own, because they said it and it goes back to being the exact same way it was. It's so dysfunctional. And, you know, I hate that you can't even confide within your family, because you tell one cousin, they tell everyone else, and the cousins tell the aunts, then the aunts tell your sister, then it goes to your parents, then it goes to the cousins you don't even know of. Like, your business is spread around like the whole family situation, and then everybody has an opinion, and then it's not even being spread around correctly. They either add or subtract stuff, you know. And I'm just like, wow, like, it's so sad that when you really need someone, when you're really feeling down and out, you can't even turn to your family, because the family that you thought you had are like enemies. They're like people you don't want to associate with. They're like the frenemies of the group, and family is supposed to be your safe haven. It's supposed to be a place where you find love, support, but it's actually where you find the deepest heartache. And that's so true. Like, why is it that my family breaks my heart, hurts me, break me down the most? For many people, it's the same way. And then you go out here trying to find some people or friends to fill the void of what you're missing from your family. I have friends who I consider family because they're more family to me than my actual blood family. And that goes for most people as well. It's really like you grow up with people and you are introduced to them throughout your entire life as family. But if these people are not taught what a family is, if they are not, and if these things are not instilled in them, then they're going to grow up just being a regular old Joe Schmo. And although we're family, that doesn't benefit our relationship, because you don't even know what it is to be a cousin, an aunt, a mother, a father, or anything. All you know is to be an individual. All you know is to look out for self. And looking out for self doesn't help the family dynamic. And it's amazing how differently you can see something after leaving it alone for a while and then revisiting it later. Like, one of my cousins, I have a bunch of aunts. Like, my grandmother and grandfather, they was getting it in back in the day. Got like 6, 7 kids. And my family dynamic, which probably some of you can relate, is like each aunt or uncle, they all had their own kids. And within their own kids, their kids had kids. So instead of them all coming together to celebrate or just be like, hey, this is your great aunt or whatever, they make their own family amongst their children and grandchildren and keep that as their safe haven. But anything outside of that is like not important. Yeah, we family, but I'm not going to, support anything going on within you. And that's like the craziest thing to me, because when we was younger, it was never that way. It was all the aunts bring the kids over one aunt's house or vice versa. We all do things together. And now it's like, oh no, I have to separate my family from these people, or I want my children not to be like how I am with my sisters. It is like, if you know there's a problem, why aren't you trying to squash whatever it is, let go of whatever it is, and just be a family? Everybody's going to have issues. Nobody is perfect. But if you're not willing to accept your fault, if you're not willing to become a better person, if you're not willing to change to make that situation go away or to avoid that situation again in the future, then it's really no point of keep using the word family when you're basically, I don't even know, like, what are you then? If you're not being my family, you're basically being a stranger? I mean, I don't know. I really don't know. And then it's like, it's a lot of bickering. It's a lot of, he say, she say. It's just a lot of like cattiness, because there's a bunch of women with a little bit of boys sprinkled in. I don't know if it's because everybody got fucking hormones and they all vaginas. I don't know. I'm a little confused myself. But I mean, I found this post on Pinterest, and it's called The 8 Rules of Dysfunctional Families. Control. One must be in control of feelings, behavior, and relationships. Perfectionism. Be right about everything. Blame. Blame yourself or someone else. Denial of the 5 freedoms. Deny feelings, thoughts, perceptions, wants, and imaging. No talk rule. Don't talk honestly. Myth making. Look on the bright side. There isn't a problem. Incompleteness. Stay upset and confused about resolving differences. Unreliability. Don't trust anyone and you will not be disappointed. And that's basically what it is. Everyone is their own person, and they're all worried about themselves. And to follow these rules is what basically everyone in my family does, and it's probably what they do in your family too. Like, sometimes walking away has nothing to do with weakness and everything to do with strength. We walk away not because we want others to realize our worth and value, but because we finally realize our own. And being an individual, when you have been trying so hard to be a part of a family, when you turn the cheek to things you know are wrong, but you don't want to cause a rift, that's also, the issues within us. We can't always feel like, well, I don't want to say nothing because I know how she is. She's going to, feel like somebody judging her and we're going to get into altercation. No, the best way to help your family be strong is to tell them when they're wrong, and they should be able to accept that. If you feel you grew up in a family with toxicity, you're supposed to make it your legacy to break the family legacy, The pain stops here. That's the point. That was the goal of our little family for the new generation, like people in my age group, Now we're having kids, and our kids, well, some of our kids are having kids, not none of mine, but, some of my other cousins' children are having children. And it's like, you keep on saying, we're going to stop, but we're just continuously making the same mistakes, doing the same things that everyone else did before us. And it's like, okay, well, what do you want me to do? I mean, I have no idea. I just hope that our families, everyone's just get it together, because it's not fair that these children are growing up without support of a village. And it's not fair that we as a unit, as loved ones, as blood, as everything, are missing out on each other's successes, on each other's achievements, on anything regarding ourselves. Those things are supposed to be cherished. Those things are supposed to be important in a family structure. And I don't know. I mean, I just hope everything just pans out possibly, because it's just saddening. It's just really saddening, and I hope whoever listening out there, you break the chain that your family has and do what you can. But if you get resistance, if no one wants to come around, then you have to worry about self and live your life the best way you know how, and make your own family. You can't make someone want to be a part of your family.